They say that pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I honestly believe this, especially when it comes to taking pictures for your brand. Having a personal brand is going to be extremely important as you decide whether or not you want to start your YouTube channel, start a business, or whatever that venture looks like for you. Having professionally shot pictures is just chef's kiss in terms of you being able to present an aesthetic that you are professional, as well as allow you the opportunity to stand out. So I actually want to go through and share some tips with you today on exactly how you can go about doing a professional photo shoot for your business or YouTube channel for under $1,000. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha here with Subscribers to Clients, where we talk all things business, finance, and personal growth. If you're out there and you're watching this channel and you're an aspiring YouTuber or just an entrepreneur who's looking for tips and tricks on how you can improve your business, then you have come to the right channel. Be sure to go down below and click that subscribe button as well as that bell so that you can get notified of all of my videos that do drop weekly. Now, diving into today's topic around shooting a professional photo shoot, there's a couple things that you want to take into consideration, and ultimately there's a few resources that I want to share with you that might not be as publicly known. The first thing that you want to keep in mind is that you want to determine what your concept is going to be for your photo shoot. And this is really where Pinterest can come in handy for you in terms of exactly what that aesthetic is that you're looking for. Keep in mind that there is a multitude of different moods or themes that you can go about in terms of completing your photo shoot, but ultimately you want your theme or your aesthetic to align with your business or your personal brand. So if you're going for something more contemporary or modern, then you want to think through what are the things that you can ensure that you include, what's the location, what are the outfits that you're going to wear that are all going to be associated with that contemporary or modern aesthetic. Maybe you're going after something that is more traditional or maybe a boho theme. Again, regardless of what your theme or mood is going to be, you want to ensure that you're able to determine what that's going to be from the very beginning. This is going to be extremely important for you in terms of making sure that you're actually able to get an aesthetic that aligns with your brand, but also this is going to be helpful information for you to be able to provide to your photographer. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do once you've determined what your aesthetic is going to be is to actually buy your outfits for the photo shoot. This is where Pinterest can really come in handy in terms of giving you ideas or inspiration in regards to what those potential outfits could look like. It's going to be extremely important that you have the right outfit that matches your aesthetic. That way it doesn't feel as though there's competing moods or themes that are happening within your photo shoot. Now, once you've figured out exactly what your concept is going to be and you have your outfits picked out, whether that's you picking them out of your current closet or going shopping for those outfits, the next thing that you actually want to go ahead and do is pick out what your date is going to be for the photo shoot. This is going to allow you the opportunity to set a deadline in terms of any work back dates that are going to be associated with you booking all of the necessary appointments that you're going to need in order to get your photo shoot off of the ground. Meaning this will be the date that you'll give to your photographer. If you're going to do hair, makeup, all of the extras that are going to be associated with you really shining in that photo shoot. So you want to make sure that you are able to pick this date and stick to it if possible. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to take into consideration is to actually look for a photographer. Now, this can be a really hard thing for you if you're overanalyzing it a bit too much. One of the things that I wanted to keep in mind in terms of my actual photo shoot for my business, The Business Recruiter, was that I didn't want to spend a ton of money for it. And I knew that photographers could be a huge expense that I just was not willing to take on. So one of the resources that I actually leveraged in terms of being able to find some really solid photographer options within my area was to actually take a look at Thumbtack. And if you're not familiar, Thumbtack is a website where you have access to a multitude of different professionals that are within a multitude of different industries. Whether you're looking for someone to fix your toilet, such as a plumber, or you're looking for someone to do photo shoots, which is the reason for this video, you can find them on Thumbtack. And Thumbtack was extremely helpful for me in being able to determine who that individual was that I wanted to complete my photo shoot. So let's go ahead and walk through Thumbtack and exactly how it works in terms of you being able to actually navigate through the site to find some options in regards to photographers within your area. Now, as you can see that we are on the home page of Thumbtack as of right now. I'm not currently logged in, although it may ask that I get logged in. But what I'm going to go ahead and do and type here is that I'm actually looking for a photographer. And then I'm gonna go ahead and also enter in my zip code so it pulls up photographers that are within my general area. For the purpose of this video, just for privacy, I am actually going to do a different zip code. So I'm gonna hit search. And then what happens is it brings up photographers that are within this area. Now, this particular area that I chose is actually within Illinois, but it does bring up photographers who are within that general area. It also talks about what their ratings are. You can see how many individuals have actually left reviews or ratings for these photographers, as well as you can also see how many times they've actually been hired on Thumbtack. If you actually click on one, so let's go ahead and click on his profile here, it gives you information in regards to how long they've been in business, how many employees, the fact that they've done a background check, and then it also allows you the opportunity to see their past work. So if you click here where it says see all, you can see all of the past work that this particular photographer has done. Now you can see here that it looks like there's some engagement photo shoots. I love these types of photo shoots. They're so cool. Some wedding photo shoots are in here as well. So there's a huge variety of different projects that this particular photographer has done. The next step that you would need to take in regards to Thumbtack, if you wanted to go ahead and actually book this photographer, would be for you to fill out the information here and then check their availability. Again, this is going to allow you the opportunity to be able to see if their availability actually matches the date that you've chosen for your particular photo shoot. Now, I will say that if you really find a photographer that you like and you have the opportunity to be more flexible in terms of the date, meaning that maybe you pick the date to be a Friday and that photographer that you really like is not available on a Friday, but you can do a Saturday, then I would say go ahead and switch your date if you are available. Because again, the photographer is really going to be the one who is there to bring your concept to life, and you want to make sure that you have someone good. And then on here, it also gives you the opportunity to scroll down and read some of the reviews, as well as some of the pictures that have been uploaded by past clients of this photographer. Now, you do have the opportunity again to search through and see who exactly are the individuals that are standing out to you. You can also see that their price lists are relatively reasonable in terms of where they start. If you're only looking for a session that's going to be, let's say, 30 to 45 minutes, then you should be able to easily stay under $1,000 in terms of your budget for a professional photo shoot. What I will say is that you don't need a ton of time in order to be able to capture great pictures. The pictures that I took for my TBR channel when I was launching that and getting that business off of the ground, ultimately that photo shoot only took about 2 hours. And to be very transparent with you, I didn't even need that 2 hours. Now, granted, I got a ton of pictures out of it, like pictures that I'm still using, and I did that photo shoot back in 2021. So as a prep before I even launched my channel and start it. But again, you can get some really awesome pictures within a short amount of time, especially if you're working with a really great photographer. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, then be sure to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So go down below, hit that subscribe button, as well as that bell so that you can get notified of all of my new videos that do drop weekly. Now, the next step that you want to take in regards to booking your professional photo shoot, now that you have your concept, your outfits, your date, and your photographer, is to actually consider what your location is going to be. Now, the location is extremely important. This is probably just as important as you actually booking your photographer. And a really cool site that I checked out in regards to finding the location for my TBR photo shoot that I did was actually Peerspace. And Peerspace was really cool because it allowed me the opportunity, very similar to Thumbtack, to enter in my information and basically browse through all of these different venues or spaces that were available for me to be able to do the photo shoot. Now, ultimately, I chose a location on Peerspace that was relatively reasonable in terms of pricing, as well as one that was relatively close. So it wasn't super far, and it was actually a photo shoot studio that was set up just for this type of thing. So with that being stated, you can actually leverage Peerspace to find unique spaces if you don't want to do a photo shoot outside or at your own home, to really drive forward in terms of your concept that you set for your personal brand. So let's go ahead and take a look at Peerspace and see what some of the examples are that do pop up. Now, taking a look at Peerspace, it's asking you what you're planning, and you can just type in here that you're planning a photo shoot. It's asking you to enter in the city. So we're just going to go ahead and do Plano. Let's do Plano, Texas this time. And then it's asking you for when. Let's say that the date that we've set is for Saturday, October 21st. And then we're gonna keep the time frame just pretty broad at this point, but you can always narrow it down if you want to. So then you're going to go ahead and click search. And then it brings up all of these different studios that are available to you in regards to being able to do your photo shoot. Now, keeping in mind that you have the opportunity to choose whatever location fits your aesthetic. And I think that that's actually pretty key, because what you don't want to do is choose a location just because it looks pretty or it's really cool and it doesn't actually fit the aesthetic or the concept that you've already outlined. So that's why it's important that you figure that out from the very beginning and then work towards making sure that you sink into what that aesthetic or concept is. Now, as we're taking a look, there's some really cool options that are here. You'll notice that there are a combination of studios. It looks like there's also apartments that are there, individuals' homes that are there. So there's a lot of really good options. Basically, what you would want to do is to continue to go through, find a location that works for you, and then very similar to Thumbtack, check exactly what their availability is going to be. And again, if you're only doing a photo shoot for, let's say, an hour or two, the prices are also relatively reasonable. These are talking about $125 an hour. This one says $80 an hour. You have some that are $175 an hour. So again, it really depends on the location that you choose, as well as your budget and the aesthetic that you're going after. Now, one thing to note as a pro tip in regards to you being able to find your photographer and your location is to then go ahead and make sure that you do provide them with a shoot list, meaning that you want to provide them with different poses that you want to do during the photo shoot. This will definitely help them to just bring all of it together in terms of this is what your concept is, and these are what some of these shots or angles are that you want to make sure that you capture for your brand. One of the easiest ways that you can go about doing this is just creating a Pinterest board in regards to all of those different shots or everything that falls within your aesthetic that you can then simply share with your photographer. You can also do a Google search and just copy and paste into a Word document pictures that fit into your aesthetic or pictures that fit into your shot list that you want, and then just send that over. Regardless of how you choose to actually put that shot list together, make sure that you have one, because it makes the day of you actually shooting extremely seamless. Okay, so at this point, you have your concept, your outfits, your date, your location, as well as your photographer. One of the last things that you want to do when you're trying to execute on a professional photo shoot is to schedule all of your appointments. This is in regards to hair, makeup, or anything else that you're going to need in regards to making sure that that day goes off without a hitch, and also that you are prepared for that day. So you already know the date of your photo shoot. You can determine when's the best time for you to be able to do your hair, knowing, how long it typically takes. If you're like me and you're like, oh my gosh, like the hair is going to take a while to do, that's something that you might want to schedule the day before, if not a couple of days before. Makeup is definitely something that you want to schedule the day of, but ultimately you want to make sure that you're able to then determine how long that might take. And if you didn't know, you can actually find makeup artists on Thumbtack as well. So it's a really cool resource for you to be able to leverage in terms of knocking out a multitude of things that are going to be on your to-do list in regards to your business photo shoot. And once you get to the point where you put it all together, you execute on that day, the biggest thing that you want to keep in mind is to have fun. This is one of the most exciting moments of your business, just in regards to you taking that baby step to get things to be professional, but ultimately to getting your business off of the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and actually insert here some of the pictures that I took for my professional business photo shoot, keeping in mind that this location was chosen from Peerspace, as well as this photographer also came from Peerspace. So I am here to tell you with my personal review, because this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Peerspace or Thumbtack, that you can get some really great individuals to be able to execute on a professional level for a relatively low price. At the end of the day, my photo shoot cost me around $600, and that included hair, makeup, location, photographer. So you can definitely do this for a reasonable price. Well, I hope that you found this video to be helpful. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as we do have an STC Facebook group community where we're talking about all things entrepreneurship and ultimately how you as a small or aspiring YouTuber can get to where you want to be in terms of your goals. So I'll be sure to go ahead and leave that link down below in the description box. That way you can take a look at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.